This is my first year using Greenstalks to grow in, and I've been really happy with them. I think they were really successful for certain crops that I've struggled with over the years, and it was definitely a good purchase, and I'm happy that I got them. I've tended to struggle with small types of herbs and lettuces over the years. What I've noticed, most of the stuff I grow is like in ground or in these very, very low raised beds. They just get lost in the bed. Insects will come and they'll, nibble on them when they're really small, which means that they don't get much of a chance to grow. And when they're in these stalks, they're up off the ground. Um, they're not getting bothered by lots of tiny bugs. And so far, all the ones that I've planted in here that are herbs and lettuces, I don't know the word, have done really well. So right now it's mid-September here in Zone 5B in the Hudson Valley in New York State. And I'm going to start taking out some of the things that have really just, petered out. And I'm going to replace some of these spots. Some of them are just empty. And um, we have over here the things that I've been growing, and we're gonna see what it's like to plant maybe some beets. I have some more cabbages over here and some turnips. I'm gonna try these out. I have them in other places in the ground, but I just want to do it for comparison to see what they're like. So I'm gonna start um, digging out some of the spots that plants aren't doing super well with. So these are some cabbages I planted by seed in here, but unfortunately they just went to seed. So I'm gonna take those guys out. I'm gonna get my snips. I'll be back. Okay, here's some examples of some plants that can go. So I have these type of bok choy. I'll just save those leaves for something later. But you can see that they started to bolt, which means that I probably planted them too early because now we're in the beginning of the fall season, and I put them in a few weeks ago. So, note to self, don't plant cabbage in August. So we have those guys, they're done. This one over here, still looking pretty good. Oh, no, I see right there. We have some signs that it's going to bolt. So I'm going to get rid of that one too. We have another cabbage over here. That one looks good. We have some lettuce over here. These parsley have been doing so well. Loving this. This was really great. We also have other herbs that were doing really well. There's some oregano over there. I had some Thai basil over here, some more lettuce. Over here, that was a fennel that never really did very much. So I'm going to get rid of this guy. And I'm just going to replace the ones that I cut out with some of the ones I had already started from the seed. When you get a green stalk, you get a little booklet like that. And in the beginning, the first few pages, it tells you what you can grow in there. There's really a lot of things. And then it tells you how many of what stuff you can grow. So I'm going to use this as a guide. And I noticed that, like, for example, I have some beets. You could put up to 3 of them in a spot. So that's good to know. I have some turnips. It says that you can only do 1. Radish can be a few. Spinach, I already have them in there. Well, I'm going to fill in what I have, and then I'm going to see if I can start some more seeds. Just try it out. So over here we have some radishes. Those did pretty well. I haven't really had a hard time with radishes in the past, so I always found them fairly successful. Ooh, more radish. And I'm going to take out any of the ones that just like didn't do very much. Get rid of them. I'm going to check over here. Ooh, a few more radishes. Take this little guy. Maybe make some space for some of the others. Let's see if anybody makes anything else. All right, it looks good. Some arugula, some spinach. There's a recycling truck. um, I think most of the harvesting is good. I'm gonna get rid of this guy. They just pop up everywhere. If you ever plant a ground cherry, you will have a ground cherry for the rest of your life, which is fine because I love them, but we don't need them here. So I'll put them in the garden too. I also need to water this. Plants are looking a little wimpy. But let's see. Over here, for example, we have some basils. We have not that much time left for basil. I'm gonna leave these, but I think like I'll just put maybe like a turnip in there. That way, in like another week or two, when these have to come out, I can already have something in there. One of the other things I liked about this is, I don't know if you could see the sheet over here. I would use this sheet to cover up the green stalk when it got a little bit chilly for the basil. And it did a pretty good job. You know, some of the nights you could see here, there's still some frost damage, but they're on their way out. Anybody else? I think everyone else is looking pretty okay. All right, so I'm going to start putting in some of those other starts that I have over here. So over here we have an empty space. Dig out the stick. Sometimes I just use my hands to make a little spot for that. I have the seedling. This one is a purple kohlrabi. And I'm going to pop it in there and press it around. And then I'm going to water the whole thing when I'm done. I think that all these guys are now planted. And you can see I still have a bunch more here and also over here. I'm going to put those in the ground just to compare and see what they do. All right, I'm going to water them and finish this up. So I started to water them. The way you do it is you fill up this top section. You can't really see now, but I'll show you in a minute. There's these little holes. Oh, here, maybe you can see that. Where the water drips down. And then as it gets past that certain point in the middle, like where that little hole is, it goes down to the next spot and the next spot. And that's how it waters the whole tower. So pretty easy to water. A lot of times I'll just take like one of those big buckets that are in the back over there. I'll fill it up with water from the rain barrel over there. I'll just dump it in. But it's been pretty dry. I don't really have anything in the rain barrel right now. I'll do the same thing with this one. And because these are new tiny seedlings over here, I'm also like gonna just water them too, because I want to make sure that at least for the first few days, that they're getting enough water. Here you can see where the water is trickling down. Well, I hope you can see it. So as it goes down from section to section, this is where the water drips into the next one, and then the next one down here, and it keeps going. Oh, start to see down there. So I watered everything from the top, but since I have tiny seedlings in there, I really want to make sure that each little pocket gets enough water for those seedlings. I'm going to do that for the next few days, just until they get established. Right now it's mid-September and it's still really nice here. We're in the Hudson Valley in zone 5B. So we're having cooler nights, but even so, like our cool nights haven't been all that cool. And we're in the 70s most days. Um, so nothing's, getting too dried out. But watering something when you first plant it is important. So everybody's getting their watering. And I'm going to update this once those plants start to grow. Our fall garden. Yay!